Things are looking real bad for Ubisoft. Let's start with this. They seem to have two different stocks, one on Euronext and one on the OTC markets. And both stocks have been trending down significantly. For a 1-year period, they're both down nearly 40%. And for a 5-year period, each one down about 75%. And they're desperate to make this up. Ubisoft saying that they rely heavily on Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows this year, claiming that they're both two of the most anticipated releases, as well as planning to lean even more heavily on their games as a service model. Because that's been going so well for them, right? As you already probably know, earlier in 2024, Ubisoft executive Philip Tremblay said that gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games, as they doubled down on their subscription-based and live service models. Many people are responding, saying that Ubisoft needs to get comfortable with people not buying their games then, either not having them at all, or acquiring them in different ways. And now in August 2024, Ubisoft announced that they're going through layoffs. And as we briefly discussed from their financial report, Ubisoft is heavily relying on Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows to save them this year. And already Star Wars Outlaws is going through a pretty rough time. We talked about that a bit on this channel, and you may have seen it from other channels as well. But hopping over to the Star Wars Outlaws subreddit, where some of the biggest Star Wars Outlaws defenders are, well, it seems like even they are getting sick of this game. This post, for example, reads, "Email from Ubisoft regarding new patch," and it looks like Ubisoft is telling many of their PlayStation 5 players who spent either $110 on the Gold Edition or $130 on the Ultimate Edition that they need to delete their save file and start all over again. This is a huge deal because one of the perks for buying the Gold Edition or Ultimate Edition was that 3-day early access period. So they're basically rendering that perk null, on top of potentially forcing players to just replay hours of content that they already went through. One of the top responses to that post reads, "I just got this email this morning. Wish I knew before I played 5 hours last night. Honestly, this game is testing my patience." Responses including, "Yeah, I agree. They should have had that figured out beforehand." And this one saying, "Not even a mention of compensation since we paid for 3-day early access." As we went over, Ubisoft is claiming that Star Wars Outlaws is essentially pivotal to their success for this year and potentially affecting their future greater than this year. So you'd really think they would have this stuff worked out. But nah, there's so many issues with Star Wars Outlaws, including numerous issues that I haven't gone over in this video. But as mentioned, we did talk about before, and many other channels have talked about too. So let me know what you think about Ubisoft's continual downfall. Do you think that Star Wars Outlaws and AC Shadows will save them as they hope for? Or maybe the bad news for them will only proliferate? If you enjoyed my brief coverage, consider liking and subscribing. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you in the next one.